You can have that monstrosity, she's in the way, my brother spat, abandoning his 5-year-old daughter alone and without food. I accepted the gift and gave him mine, a lawsuit for abandonment with a court order. Today, he pays $5,000 a month or goes to prison. I am raising my daughter. He pays for his mistake every day. I got home and there she was, my 5-year-old niece, organizing pebbles into perfect lines on my porch. Honey, do you know where your dad is? I asked, bewildered. It looked like she had been left here for hours. And my brother was nowhere to be seen. She didn't look at me, she just kept arranging the stones by size. Dad said he was going to the store, but he hasn't come back. Her little clothes were dirty. It looked like she hadn't eaten. My heart sank. The first thing I thought was that something bad had happened to him. I called my brother. He answered on the 10th call. Where are you? Are you okay? Did something happen to you? Why is Emma at my house? Oh, you're back. Perfect. His tone was casual, as if we were talking about the weather. You can have that monstrosity. I can't carry her anymore. Sorry. What the hell are you talking about? This is your daughter we're talking about. She's defective. She'll only be a burden to me. Every word was pure ice. Defective. A burden. You should have thought of that before and used a damn condom, I said furiously. Besides, you always wanted kids, didn't you? Well, there you have her. Take care of her, he said in a mocking tone and hung up. I stood there in shock for a few seconds, processing what I had just heard. I called my parents looking for support. Their response, your brother deserves to be happy. Emma will be better off with you. We'll send you money, so don't make a fuss. I hung up, trembling with rage and disbelief. It was then that I saw the Instagram notification, my brother hugging a blonde woman I had never seen, both holding glasses of champagne. The caption chilled my blood, starting my new life with my love. Finally free to build our future. 20 minutes. Barely 20 damn minutes since he gifted me his daughter, and he was already celebrating his freedom. The first few days were chaos. Emma needed routines, stability, and I needed to reorganize my entire life. I turned my office into her bedroom, hired a nanny for the hours I worked, and established fixed schedules for everything. After a week, the nanny told me something that chilled my blood. Emma is very sweet, but she has some particular behaviors. She gets very agitated when I move something, and sometimes it seems like she doesn't hear me even when I speak directly to her. The next day, I took her to the doctor. When the pediatrician asked about her behavior, it all started to fit together, the repetitive movements, the difficulty making eye contact, her obsession with patterns, what the nanny had noticed. I recommend an evaluation with a development specialist, the doctor said in that soft voice they use for bad news. 2 weeks later, I had the diagnosis, autism spectrum disorder, level 1. Emma would need specialized therapies. Strict routines. Infinite patience. Suddenly, my brother's words took on an even more nauseating meaning, monstrosity, defective, a burden. Abandoning any child was unforgivable. But now I knew he had done it knowing full well that Emma needed special care. He knew exactly what he was abandoning, and he had done it anyway. That night, as I put Emma to bed, something broke and rebuilt itself inside me. The rage turned into something cold. Calculated. Relentless. I called a lawyer specializing in family law. I need emergency custody, and I need the father to pay child support. I have the girl with me, and I have the security camera video that clearly shows him abandoning her on my porch. I got home 3 hours after my normal time because of a work meeting, but the camera recorded everything. While waiting for the legal appointment, I took out my laptop and started doing what I should have done from the beginning, investigate. I looked up their social media profiles, reviewed every recent post, every photo, every story. If I was going to destroy someone's life, I needed to know all the angles. It didn't take me an hour to find pure gold. The blonde woman from Instagram had her own profile, Claudia, 28. Her account was a perfect showcase of a dream life, photos on paradise beaches, expensive restaurants, impeccable outfits, perfect smiles. Almost 50,000 followers hanging on her every post. She was one of those lifestyle influencers who sell the fantasy of a perfect life. My brother appeared in her most recent photos as the missing piece to her perfect puzzle. Physically, I admit, they made a good couple, him with his blue eyes and that smile that always got him what he wanted, her, blonde and tanned like something out of a magazine. I dug deeper. They had launched a YouTube channel together. I won't say the real name for obvious reasons, but it was basically something like, Living Without Limits. The concept was simple but effective, the perfect couple documenting their perfect life. Trips, restaurants, luxury hotels, relationship advice, workout routines. All wrapped in that polished aesthetic that hooks thousands of people who dream of that life. Their first video already had over 100,000 views. My brother talked about freeing ourselves from the shackles of the past to build the future we deserve with the right person. Yeah, right. I guess his 5-year-old daughter was a shackle, too heavy for his perfect life. I saved everything, not knowing exactly why. I just knew I wanted a record of his hypocrisy while Emma needed 3 different therapies that I was paying for with my savings. The day of the appointment with the lawyer arrived. Sophia reviewed the abandonment footage. This is solid, she told me. We have the video, the nanny's testimony, the medical diagnoses. We can ask for full custody, child support, and compensation for expenses. How much could we get? Considering she is a minor with special needs who was deliberately abandoned, she smiled, between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, minimum, until she turns 18. The lawsuit was ready. We just had to decide when to serve it. A week later, my brother called. His voice sounded annoyed. What's going on with the custody papers? My parents told me you started a legal process. Someone had to take responsibility, I replied in the most neutral voice I could muster. Emma needs stability. You don't need to spend money on lawyers. I already told you to take care of her. Are you referring to the autistic girl you abandoned? I dropped the word autistic like a bomb. Silence. A long silence. Ah. Perfect. Good that you know. That makes things easier. His indifference chilled my blood. Makes things easier. She is your 5-year-old daughter. She's autistic. I don't have time for that. His tone was cold, calculated. You work with misfits, don't you? Well, now you have another one. He hung up. I stood there with the phone in my hand, trembling. Misfits. That's what he called the children with special needs I work with every day. Children who just need a little more understanding and support. That's what he called his own daughter. 2 days later, my parents called, furious. How dare you sue your brother? He's trying to build something important, and you hit him with this. Seriously? You're going to take his side? He's the one who abandoned his daughter on my doorstep. Oh, don't be so dramatic. You're exaggerating, my mother cut me off. Exaggerating? Your son left a little girl alone on my doorstep. I wasn't even home. What if something had happened to her? Oh, it's not that big a deal, my father chimed in with that condescending tone I hated. Someone could have done something to her. She's 5 years old, I said, exasperated. They had exhausted my patience. Well, your brother made a small mistake. Can't you be more understanding, my mother said. Understanding? How? Like he was with his autistic daughter. We didn't know she had problems, my mother murmured. That doesn't change anything, my father intervened. He deserves a chance. We agree that you can handle the situation better. After all, you studied for this, right? I was speechless. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I hung up. I recorded the whole conversation, every word where they cared more about their adored son and the facade he was selling on social media, thinking that we would tarnish his success. Emma continued to progress with her therapies. Her fascination with maps became our special time. We drew imaginary worlds, continents of bright colors, cities with names we made up together. "Is my daddy coming back?" she asked me one afternoon while coloring a blue continent. "No, honey. But are you safe with me?" "Always. Always." A week later, I received a call from an unknown number. "Are you Rodrigo's sister?" It was a female voice, nervous. "Yes. This is Claudia, Rodrigo's girlfriend. We need to talk." "We need to talk," Claudia said. Her voice was tense, nothing like the sweet, controlled tone from her videos. "What do you want to talk about?" "You know perfectly well what. This little game of yours with the lawsuit." "Little game?" "It's a completely serious legal process. Don't play innocent. Do you know what you're doing?" Her perfect influencer mask was slipping. "We're doing phenomenally. Since you see the project is going so well, you want to screw us over." "I'm just doing the right thing. If that affects your project, maybe you should rethink your life decisions. Look, let's be direct. Do you want Rodrigo to pay you? To give you money for the brat? Fine, he will. Just stop this theater. It's all about money. How much do you want? 10,000? 20,000? Claudia, this isn't a negotiation. Your boyfriend is going to pay child support because the law requires him to, not because I'm asking him. But you don't understand. What we did. It wasn't abandonment. It was a difficult decision. But it wasn't difficult. It was calculated and cruel. You don't understand what's at stake." Her voice rose. "We have contracts, sponsors, a future to build. This lawsuit could destroy all of that." "Good. Maybe then you'll learn that actions have consequences. If you don't stop this, I'll make you regret it." "Oh yeah? And how exactly?" I can make everyone know what you really are. A bitter woman who stole her brother's daughter." "Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you. Because I have a video of your boyfriend abandoning a 5-year-old girl, recordings of threats, and a solid legal case. Do you seriously think you have more power than me in this situation?" She hung up. Claudia had just confirmed what I already knew. All of them were rotten. They were garbage human beings who only cared about themselves. There was no one on my side in this family. But the law would be. I called my lawyer immediately. I just had a very interesting conversation with my brother's girlfriend. "Did she threaten you?" "She tried to bribe me first, then threatened me when I refused." "That worsens the case. Witness intimidation. Attempted bribery. I'm going to request emergency temporary custody right now. With the threats and the abandonment video, the judge should approve it within 24 hours. How solid is our case? Considering they sell an image of a perfect couple and ideal family life, a child abandonment lawsuit is pure poison for their brand." She paused. "But there are more legal consequences than we initially discussed." "Like what?" "We can ask for the complete termination of parental rights. That means he can never again claim custody or make decisions about Emma, but he will still be obligated to pay child support. Also, retroactive compensation for all medical expenses since the abandonment, and for him to cover all our legal costs." "Would Emma have to be present in court?" "I don't want to expose her to more trauma. With all the evidence we have, it probably won't be necessary. The security camera video, the recordings of threats, the medical diagnoses. It's quite solid." "Good. And how strong is the case financially?" "Very strong. Between child support, compensation for retroactive and future medical expenses, plus legal costs. We're talking about a significant amount that will impact him for years. That night, I decided to do something I hadn't done in weeks, check their social media. The YouTube channel had uploaded a new video that same afternoon. The title chilled my blood, "We're asking for help. Our family situation has become very complicated." I watched the whole thing. 15 minutes of Rodrigo and Claudia, sitting in their perfect living room with carefully placed tiers. First, they explained that they had a beautiful daughter, whom they had kept out of the public eye to protect her privacy. Claudia spoke of Emma as if she were her own biological daughter, never mentioning she wasn't her mother. Then came the manipulation. They had entrusted Emma to me temporarily, because I had professional experience with special children, but now they needed their followers' help because I was refusing to give her back. According to their version, I had emotionally kidnapped Emma, taking advantage of my professional experience to steal their daughter. Rodrigo added with a breaking voice, "Since she can't have children of her own, now she wants to keep ours." They presented the abandonment as a family agreement that I was violating out of jealousy and resentment. "We just wanted Emma to receive the best care while we established our new home," Claudia said with perfect tears. "But now we realize. Maybe we trusted the wrong person." Rodrigo added, "My sister always wanted children. We think she got too attached and now doesn't want to give her back. We just want our little girl back." The comments were exactly what they expected. How terrible. An aunt who takes advantage like that. Poor parents. This must be heartbreaking. How can someone be so cruel to a family? I hope you can get your daughter back soon. 2 days later, my lawyer called with news. "I just received a call from your brother's lawyer." "What did he want?" "To negotiate. They're offering $2,000 a month with no admission of guilt." "And you told them no?" "And I told them no. With the security camera video, the girlfriend's threats, and Emma's autism diagnosis, we can get much more." "How much more?" $5,000 minimum. Maybe $6,000 with all the aggravating circumstances. But there's something interesting. Their lawyer sounded desperate. I don't think that video they published is getting the results they expected. That afternoon, Emma was in her room drawing when I heard the doorbell. Through the peephole, I saw my brother on the porch, pacing like a caged lion. I opened the door, leaving the security chain on. "We need to talk." "There's nothing to talk about. The legal process is underway." "Open the door." "This is ridiculous. Emma is home. I'm not going to expose her to your yelling." "I'm not going to yell. I just want to talk like adults." He was already yelling. I closed the door and spoke through it. "Seriously? Are you going to destroy my life over this?" "I'm not destroying anything. You destroyed yourself when you abandoned your daughter. It was a temporary decision. I was going to find another solution." His voice rose even more. "When? After she turned 18 and was no longer your legal responsibility?" "It's not like that." "Then how is it? Explain your master plan for eventually reclaiming the daughter you called a monstrosity." Silence from the other side of the door. "Do you know what the most pathetic part of all this is?" I continued. "That you haven't even asked how Emma is. If she's okay, if she needs anything, if she's progressing in her therapies. The only thing you care about is how this affects you." "Of course I care about Emma." "Really? When is her next doctor's appointment? What therapists is she working with? What are her favorite foods? What calms her down when she's overwhelmed?" Total silence from the porch. "Exactly. You know nothing about your own daughter because you never cared to know her, did you? Did you know she has a photographic memory for colors? That she can remember exactly where she put everything? That she notices details no one else sees? No, you didn't know any of that because you were too busy seeing only what you considered a problem. I paused. What would Luna think, seeing how you abandoned the baby she gave her life for? How do you think she would feel, seeing how you so easily abandoned the little girl she loved so much and asked you so many times to care for? Absolute silence. I could hear his ragged breathing on the other side of the door. Don't you dare mention her, he whispered, in a voice I had never heard from him. Don't you dare. Why? Because you know I'm right. Because you know you betrayed everything she stood for. His voice exploded. I've had enough. You know what? Open this door. I'm taking my daughter right now. You're not taking anyone. Leave before I call the police. I'm her father. I have the right. What right? My voice turned icy. The same right you used when you left her stranded on my porch. That was different. I took care of Emma all these years. Her condition. I didn't know how to handle it. I thought you could do it better. And what's changed now? Suddenly you know how to care for an autistic child. I can learn. I can hire help. No. The word came out cold. Final. What happens when you get overwhelmed again? When Claudia decides it's no longer convenient for her. Emma is not an object you can throw away when she's in your way. She's a human being who feels. Do you think it didn't hurt her when you left her here? Do you think she doesn't wonder why her daddy doesn't want her? She doesn't understand. Of course she understands. Just because she doesn't express it like other children doesn't mean she doesn't feel the abandonment. The silence on the other side of the door told me I had hit the mark. This isn't over, he finally shouted. I'll make you regret not giving me my daughter. Leave my property. I heard his footsteps storming away. I waited until I heard his car start before removing the chain. The next morning, I received a YouTube notification. They had uploaded a new video to their channel. I watched it all, and my blood ran cold. They had filmed the confrontation at my door, but they had meticulously edited it to leave only the parts that suited them. The video started with Rodrigo ringing my doorbell. He looked calm, worried. They had added his voiceover, I just want to see my daughter. It's been weeks. Then it cut to my voice from inside, you're not taking anyone. They had edited it to sound aggressive, without context. Then my brother, with an expression cut from another moment, while his edited voice said, I'm her father, I just want to know if she's okay. And again, my cold voice, no. The video continued like that, cutting and pasting to make it seem like he was a desperate father begging to see his daughter while I held her prisoner. They had completely eliminated his threats, his screams, everything where he looked bad. The end was devastating, him walking away, defeated, while my voice yelled, leave my property, without showing that he had been threatening to take Emma by force. The comments were exactly what they wanted, this is parental kidnapping. Call the police. What a cruel woman. That man just wants his daughter. This needs Tobe reported. It's illegal. I immediately called my lawyer. Did you see the video? Yes. It's complete manipulation. It's also evidence of harassment and defamation. Using maliciously edited recordings to create a false narrative. This gives us even more legal ammunition. What can we do? Document the entire video, the comments, the reactions, and prepare to counterattack with the real evidence. When is the hearing? In 1 week. It's already scheduled. Do you think they'll try anything else before then? They're probably desperate, and desperate people do stupid things. I hung up with a strange feeling in my stomach. 1 week. In 1 week, this would be over. I went to check on Emma. She was sleeping peacefully, oblivious to the war being waged for her future. At 6 the next morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Missed calls, messages, notifications without end. Rodrigo's manipulated video had exploded, but not as he expected. It turns out someone had found my Instagram profile, where I occasionally post about my work with children with special needs. The comments were a mix of overwhelming support and visceral attacks. This woman kidnapped an innocent, mentally ill, child. Give that girl back to her father. Typical bitter spinster, stealing other people's children. I set my accounts to private, but it was already too late. Even my cousin Luis wrote me, "What's going on? Is it true you won't let Rodrigo see his own daughter? My parents are asking what's up." I called my lawyer. What do I do? Should I speak out publicly? No. Anything you say can be used against you in the legal process. Besides, the more he talks, the more he'll sink himself. But the manipulated video continued to spread like fire. The comments on social media multiplied every hour, and more people I knew began to comment or share the story. By noon, things started to turn. Someone in the comments asked why Rodrigo had never mentioned Emma on his social media if he loved her so much. His followers began to review his previous posts and noticed something obvious: never, at any point, had he talked about being a father. This guy has been posting couples content for months since he abandoned his daughter and never mentions her. If he loves her so much, why is there never a single reference to being a father? Something doesn't add up. There are influencers who protect their children and don't show them, but at least they mention them. This guy literally acts as if she doesn't exist. It's like he completely erased that child from his life. Others began to notice the dates didn't add up. Why had he waited so long to look for his daughter if he loved her so much? His sponsors began to quietly distance themselves. Family brands didn't want to be associated with someone involved in a child custody controversy. But Rodrigo wasn't finished. At 2 in the afternoon, I received a call from Emma's school. "Ma'am, Emma's father is here. He says he's here to pick her up. You can't release her to him. I have temporary custody. He says that's a lie. He's very agitated. We are activating the security protocol. I'm on my way. Don't let him take her." I drove like a maniac to the school. When I arrived, there were 2 patrol cars, and Rodrigo was handcuffed against one of them. "Let me go. She's my daughter," he screamed like a madman. The principal found me. "She's fine. Emma is in my office with the psychologist." She got very upset when she saw her father shouting. Rodrigo saw me and started screaming louder. "There's the child thief. She stole my daughter." The officer asked me for the custody papers. I showed them to him. "Sir, according to these documents, custody of the minor was temporarily transferred to this lady. You cannot take her. Those papers are fake." Rodrigo writhed in the handcuffs. "She bribed the judge." "Sir, calm down, or you'll be charged with public disturbance as well." But Rodrigo had completely lost control. "Emma is mine. She's my blood. That woman can't keep her just because she has money." He turned to me with a look of pure hatred. "This isn't going to end like this. I'm going to get a better lawyer. I'm going to prove that you manipulated her. It was a mistake, a moment of desperation. We'll see you in court," I told him with mortal calm. The officers took him away as he continued to shout threats. The next day, I received a call from my lawyer that changed everything. The judge saw the videos of the incident at the school. He's scheduling an emergency hearing for tomorrow. What does that mean? It means he is going to permanently terminate your brother's parental rights. He will no longer legally be Emma's father. And the child support? That continues. The judge considers that Emma has special needs and cannot be left unprotected. Not to mention all the additional trauma he caused the child. The hearing was a massacre. Rodrigo showed up with a public defender who clearly hadn't had time to review the case. The judge had seen everything: the original abandonment video, Claudia's recorded threats, the confrontation at my door, which my security camera also recorded, and now the incident at the school. In my 30 years as a family judge, he said in a glacial voice, I have seen many cases of abandonment, but rarely one where the father attempts to monetize and mediatize his own cruelty. Rodrigo tried to interrupt. Your Honor, if you'll allow me to explain, silence. The gavel echoed through the courtroom. You've explained enough. When you called your own daughter a burden and admitted it was all manipulation. The judge continued. You not only deliberately abandoned a minor with special needs, but you then attempted to manipulate public opinion to justify your cruelty. He turned to me. Ma'am, you are granted full and permanent custody of the minor. The defendant is hereby legally stripped of all parental rights. Rodrigo shot up like a spring. You can't do that. She's my daughter. No, sir. She is not your daughter anymore. You gave up that right when you abandoned her. This is an injustice. The injustice is what you did to that child. The judge looked at him with total contempt. Furthermore, you will pay $5,000 a month in child support until the minor turns 18. I won't be able to pay that. After this, my channel is finished. The sponsors have already pulled out. Then I suggest you liquidate your current assets and find a traditional job. According to the records, your channel was generating considerable income until recently. If you don't pay, you will go to prison. Rodrigo collapsed into his chair, finally understanding the magnitude of his defeat. When we left the courthouse, my parents were waiting for him on the steps. They immediately rushed to console him. Son, this is terrible, my mother said, hugging him and completely ignoring me. I can't believe your own sister did this to you. My father looked at me with contempt. Are you happy now? You destroyed your brother's life. I've had enough of dealing with your son, and now I have to put up with this, I said in a tired tone. Isn't it obvious that if the judge sided with me, he's the one who was wrong here, not me? That's an exaggeration, my mother intervened. He just needed time to get organized. And now, because of you, he's lost everything. That's enough, I said, losing my patience. I didn't ruin anything. These are the consequences of his decisions, nothing more and nothing less. I turned and walked away. When I got home, Emma was sleeping peacefully in her bed. Her little pebbles were organized in perfect lines on her nightstand. Everything in order, everything in its place. She finally had the stability she needed. I sat down at my laptop and opened the file I had saved for weeks, the full security camera video of when Rodrigo came to my house threatening to take Emma by force. I hadn't planned to use it. I had hoped that after the hearing, he would understand, that he would take responsibility, that he would at least have the decency to stay quiet. But he had just confirmed that he had learned nothing. To him, I was still the villain, he was still the victim. I uploaded the video to TikTok with a simple title, This Guy You Don't Know Abandoned His Autistic Daughter for an Influencer. I tagged his channel and Claudia's. In the description, I added, for those who saw the edited video my brother uploaded, here is the full, uncut conversation. You decide who is telling the truth. I hit publish. My phone started ringing within 5 minutes. Notifications, comments, shares. The truth was spreading as fast as the lie, but with much more force. Holy shit. This guy is completely insane. Seriously, he was screaming that he was going to take the girl by force. And we were defending this psychopath? How embarrassing. This woman is a saint for putting up with all this. Within an hour, Rodrigo's original manipulated video had thousands of new comments, but now they were all against him. By the next morning, his channel had lost half of its subscribers. The comments on all his videos were devastating. He had been completely exposed. Emma woke up early and came for breakfast. Can we make pancakes? She asked, sitting in her favorite chair. Of course, princess. As we made breakfast together, my phone kept buzzing with notifications, but I didn't care anymore. Justice had been fully served. Rodrigo would have to live the rest of his life knowing that the entire world had seen his true face, and I would have the privilege of raising this extraordinary girl who deserved all the love in the world. It's been 6 months since the court date. Emma and I moved to another city, far away from all that toxicity. From what I've seen and heard, here's how things are: the $5,000 arrives religiously every month. Rodrigo found a job in a warehouse after all his assets were liquidated. His channel died with less than 1,000 subscribers. The TikTok video I uploaded has 3 million views. The comments on his social media are still brutal. Claudia tried to save herself. Her statement distancing herself from him partially worked, but the internet doesn't forget. She reinvented herself as a life coach for women overcoming toxic relationships. But the comments on her posts always include someone reminding her that she convinced a man to abandon his autistic daughter. Her engagement numbers never recovered. She lost half her followers and several advertising contracts. Now she talks on small podcasts about red flags in partners, with the irony that she herself was a giant red flag. My parents contacted me after 3 months, asking to see Emma. I told them only under my conditions: mandatory family therapy and visits completely supervised by me. If they hurt Emma in any way emotionally, psychologically, whatever, it's over. No second chances. They also had to cut all contact with Rodrigo. They agreed. Yesterday, I received a letter from Rodrigo. I know I made mistakes, but I'm her father. Emma needs me. At least let me visit her. Emma saw it on the kitchen table. Can I throw it away? She asked. Not right now, princess. I'm going to consult with your therapist and my lawyer about this. It doesn't matter if he's sorry. The only thing that matters is your well-being. Is it okay if I don't want to see him? Of course, it's okay. Your feelings are the most important thing. I did what I had to do. Rodrigo chose his priorities. I chose mine. People can have different opinions about my methods, but I protected a child who needed it. Should I let Rodrigo see Emma someday? Honestly, I don't know. If he really changes, if professionals say it's safe, if Emma one day wants to see him. Maybe. But for now, she's too young for those decisions. For now, it's just the two of us. Emma is safe, progressing, and finally has the stability she always deserved. What would you have done?